Well, in the previous classes, we have discussed about the basics of HTML and XHTML differences we have discussed. And we also studied about some of the basic tags like paragraph tag and other tags we have discussed. So let's go ahead with the next different tags that are available in the HTML. So basically we have discussed this heading tags and so on. And one more important point that I want to uh, highlight is we have used the HTML and XHTML files basically, like we provided the XML version and doc type and so on. So for these if you want to use just the HTML files, or if you want to program in HTML way, then you can use the extension as just .html. So in this program, you can see that the program name is demo_1.html, and it just starts with HTML tag. So no need of defining the XML version and doc type and other details are not required. So for all our programs, you can just simply use the HTML, and you have to save the file as the program name or the file name followed by .html. That will be sufficient. So inside that, the HTML will be having the head tag, then there will be a title, and then the body tags and so on. So we have discussed the paragraph tag, pre-tag, break line, all these tags we have discussed. So we'll continue our discussion with the basic tags, and the first tag that we're going to discuss today is the block quotations. Like in the earlier days, when we want to display some information on the web page or on the web browser, we will be having some 3 to 4 lines of text, or we can say a paragraph that has to be displayed. But we want to display in such a way that it should leave some margin space towards the left or towards the right. So to do such things on the web page, we can use the tag called as the block quotation. So this tag is used to make the contents look different from the surrounding text. So from other text that we have, to differentiate this text, we use this block quotation. So basically the block quote can be used in paragraphs. So for example, I will use this simple file. So I have created a HTML starting tag, and then a head tag and the body tag. Here I use a paragraph, and in this I have used a simple paragraph. So it explains about the HTML paragraph and other details. So like this, you can have any paragraphs. And after this, I use the BR tag. Why we use the BR tag? What is the purpose of BR tag?
To break the
to break the
To break the line. That means if you want to go to the next line, or whenever we want to break the line that is being appearing on the web page, if you want to go to the next line, from there if you want to start, you can use this break line. So that we have used, and I use the same content or the same paragraph tag I have used, but that paragraph tag I'm putting inside the block quote tag. So what this block quote tag will do, let's observe this. I have not put any spaces, or I have not used any pre tags and so on. Whatever this p tag I have, same thing I have copied here, and I've put this inside the block quotation. That is the block quote tag. So let us run this. So the demo1.html file I have. So we'll just run this. Open with Chrome. So now you can observe that. I'll just increase this. We'll zoom it out. So here you can see that this paragraph is starting with the first character on the inside the page. I mean, it is starting with the left margin itself. But here, if you take the same content and have put this entire thing in the block quote, so here it is appearing like this entire thing has taken some left margin, and similarly there is a right margin, we can say. So if you want to put these important contents, or if you want to separate the other contents from this special content, you can put this block quotation. Basically some of the browsers support left margin and right margin both together. Some of the browsers will only take from the left margin, and they will not leave any space towards the right margin. So for that purpose, we use this block quotation. You may ask or doubt how to avoid this block quotation, or how we can set a particular margin of say 0.5 points or 0.5 pixels and so on. So for such cases, we will be using these cascading style sheet. that time you will understand. Basically, what we are studying is all the common basic HTML tags without the cascading style sheets. Are we clear with this block quotation tag? Can you see the difference? Everyone, can you observe the difference between a regular paragraph tag and a paragraph that is being put inside a block quotation tag, block quote tag? So now if I remove this block quote, the first paragraph and second paragraph will appear same. I'll just save this. I'll just refresh this. See now, it is same as it is. There is no difference into that. Are we getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will put this back as it is. Now let us go ahead with the next set of tags. So the next thing that we're going to discuss about is the font styles and sizes. So basically in the earlier days when we started with the web development, initially we had only the HTML. We didn't have the JavaScript, or we didn't have the cascading style sheet. But whereas in the recent times, we don't use these tags like I had written for the bold and for the italic and underline and so on. We do all these things by using the cascading style sheet. Okay, separate, that is only meant for the representing purpose in a different way with different varieties of attributes and values for that particular tags. But initially when the HTML was started, we didn't have that as cascading style sheets. CSS we didn't have. So in such time, or in that time, we use these different tags like the B tag, I tag, and so on. So these are meant for only, or in the earlier days we used it, and some of the browsers still support these tags, but some of the latest browser may not support these tags because these tags are meant only for the HTML. They are not meant for the CSS. So if I want to put something in the bold format, I can use the tag called as B. Similarly, if I want to put some information inside our in the italic font, so I can use the tag called as I. And if I want to underline some information, I can use this U tag. See, all these bold, italic, and U, all this we can do in normal Word document easily, but we cannot do these on the web pages. So if you want these things to happen on a web page or on a web document, we have to use these tags. Similarly, I have another tag called as the code tag. So like for example, if you want to display some coding statements, like if you want to display some formula or some coding statements, these codes will take a particular font property or a font style, we can say, that we call it as the monospace. Whenever you type any code like in C programming or C++, Java, by default they will take a font style as monospace font. So this, if you want to make visible in the same format that we do coding, so for that we use a tag called as the code tag. So usually for the program code, basically it is used to display any information of web page which is in the programming part, or which is in the code part. So for that we can use the code tag. Similar to the bold tag, we have another tag called as the strong tag. Okay, so the strong tag and the bold tag both are same, or both are similar, but they can be used in a interchangeable way. Or alternative for the bold tag we can use is the strong tag. So it is used to define text with strong importance. So if you want to display any information with a very important thing, or if you want to highlight it, we can use the strong tag or the bold tag. So the content inside it is typically displayed in the bold format, or with the bold font it can be used. Similarly, we have another tag called as the EM tag, or we call it as the emphasize. So like we have the strong tag, we have the italic. Similar to that, we have another tag called as the emphasize. So information or the content can be, or a text can be displayed with some emphasizes. Like we have the bold tag and strong tag. Similar to that, are these all are like a different font styles that we are giving for a particular text or for a particular paragraph, we can say. So let us take these examples and let us understand it. So I have taken another simple example, that is the strong.html. Here I put the h1 tag. So what this h1 tag represents, how many heading tags we have?
6,
H1 to
H6,
okay.
H6,
So H1 will display the information with a big font or with a small font size.
big font, big
So
font,
what is the shortcut to remember this? Lower the number,
H1,
lower the
Higher
number,
the font size.
higher the
Higher
font
the
size.
font size.
Okay, very good. So we can use this different heading tags, and here I have put this strong tag and bold tag. So if you run this, just go to this file, run this. So you can see that it is appearing in the same way, or just I will zoom this. So both bold tag and the strong tag are giving the same kind of information. Okay, so either you can use the bold tag or you can use the strong tag. And this is the normal text without any bold or italic and so on. So you're going to create such simple programs of your own, and you can put the information, you can run this. So we'll take the next example. So here I have put the information for like illustration of all the font styles, like this is bold, this is italic, this is underline, and so on. So let us run this and you will observe the importance of this. So we'll run this demo2.html. So you can see that the extension for these files will be just demo.html. Okay, so you can see that this is italics. So the font style that we are using is appearing in the italics. And for this, you will give the underline. Okay, so this is the underline. This is emphasize. Okay, so it looks similar to the italics, but it is little different or slightly different than the italics. So next we have is the strong tag. Like a bold tag, we can have this strong tag, and thus advantage of having this code tag. Like whenever you code something, or whether you use C programming or any coding languages you use, that code whenever you type, and if you copy it in a WordPad or on a notepad, it appears in this particular font style, that is the monospace. Okay, so if you want to put some coding parts by using that particular font style, you can use this code tag. Is this clear with everyone? Why we use these tags? But remember that in current era, we do not prefer using these HTML tags, but rather we go for the cascading style sheet. CSS font styles we'll be discussing when we discuss about the second unit. There you're going to study in detail about these styles, how to give font styles, for format, font sizes, other details. We can do it with the CSS. But earlier days, we didn't have many properties for the pre-presentation of the data or the content on the web page. So we use these basic tags. Are we clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Now you can observe that to distinguish each line, like this is bold, this is italics, what I have used here, BR tag I have used. So I can have a line space after every statement or after every paragraph, we can say. But it is looking like a very tedious job. Like I have a BR, so and so on. So if I use many tags like this, or if the paragraph is of say 4 to 5 lines, or if my content is of 4 to 5 lines, using this BR tag will be a tedious job. So I do not want these BR tags to appear every now and then. So what can be the solution for that? What you can think about it? I want to have a line space like this. This is italics and this is underline, this is emphasize and so on. But I do not want to include the BR tag. What I can use to avoid this? Can somebody tell me? We have discussed a tag for this. What is the tag name? Can somebody think about it? See here, if I do not use BR tag, what will happen? I've removed this BR tag. Okay. So this is coming in that first line itself. Are you getting it? So to differentiate
sir.
each tag, I've just put this BR tag. Okay, but I do not want these BR tags to be used for every now and then, because I've used its face for 10 times I've used, 10 to 12 times I've used. But if it is for say 10 to 15 lines or maybe 50 lines, it will be tedious job. So what we can use to avoid these white spaces? I mean, to include the white spaces, but without using the BR tag. What is the tag name for that?
PRE.
PRE. So pre-tag. Now, can anybody tell me where I have to use that pre-tag? I want this entire paragraph to appear as I write in the code. Whatever I write in the code, in the same format it should appear. And I do not want to use these BR tags. So where I have to put this pre-tag now? Can somebody tell
After the
me?
paragraph tag, sir. After the paragraph tag.
After the paragraph tag or before the paragraph tag? Let us try with that. As you said this, I will put a pre-tag here. Okay, fine. Now where should I close this?
After that paragraph tag, sir.
After the paragraph? Here?
14 lines.
Here?
14 lines.
Okay. And should I keep these BR tags or should I remove it?
Remove.
Okay. So I will remove these BR tags. See, I'm just telling you how we can learn the things. I'm thinking in terms of a student. So initially I was not knowing. So I wanted to put everything like this, but I do not want to do this tedious job again and again. So I want to include a white space. So, or I want to write the information as I write inside the coding part. So if I run this, see, this is how it is appearing. So what we have removed? We have removed this BR tags, and this is how we can understand the things. So instead of using BR tags repeatedly, we can avoid that and we can use the pre-tag. So this is the advantage of having the pre-tag. So here I have included this pre-tag after the paragraph, and here I have put it. Okay. Or otherwise, if you want to put this entire paragraph, always think in terms like this. See, the paragraph tag is appearing inside the body. So similar to that, better you put, this is also fine, but what you can do is better put this pre-tag before the paragraph. Whatever you have said, it is fine. So better put this pre-tag first and put the paragraph, and then here we need to do this indentation so that we can understand the things. And here I will put this paragraph, and for this enclosing pre-tag. So this will be a better one. Will it work now? Is the changes I have made is
The
fine?
pre-text should be closed. The pre-text should be closed.
Okay, so I have to put a forward slash. And now I will run this. So we can see the proper changes. So always it is better to put the tags inside a paragraph. I mean, such tags that you are doing. So earlier what you did, you put this pre-tag after the P, and but if you want to close this, close it before the P. Don't do it in a mismatch way. It will be very difficult to identify the tags. So at the outer side we have the pre-tag, and inside that we have the pre-tag. Or if you want to put the pre-tag in the way Siddharth told, you can put it like this. Put the pre-tag here first, okay, and then close the pre-tag here. but you said that put the pre-tag after the paragraph and close the pre-tag. I mean, put the pre-tag after this P and close the pre-tag after this P. So that will be a mismatch. I mean, it will work, but it will not good proper. So either you do it entire paragraph within this pre, or you do it in this way. Is that clear for everyone? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Anybody has any doubts till now, whatever we have discussed? Others, anybody is having doubts, you can ask me. Now, similar to this font styles, like all tags that we have discussed, B, italic, and so on. Similar to that, we have some other tags like subscript and superscript. Like for example, if I want to write some x square, y square, logarithm functions, and so on. So I may require the base and power functions for the particular variables or for particular values. So in Word directly, what I will do, I will go to this particular thing and I can take the x to the base 2 or x square and so on, subscript and superscript, and directly I can use it. But when you want this to appear on your web page directly, if you write in this a paragraph, it will not work out. So directly you cannot do it. So for that, use something called as the subscript and superscript. So I will take simple example before this. So suppose say I want to write x square. So what I will use, I will put x first, and then I will put a tag called as super, sup, and then I will put 2 and I will close this. So this means that it will display x square. Okay, so this is how you can put the simple superscripts. Now after this I want to put y square. So what I have to do? Can somebody tell me? After x, I want to put
Y
y, fine. Then
sub
no, I want y square.
SUP.
SUP. Then
2.
Then
Two.
2. If you want y square, you will put 2. If you want y cube, you will put 3. So if I want y cube, I will put 3. Then close this superscript. You can mute yourself. So this will say y square, I mean y cube. Okay. So now if I want some say like for example 40 to the base 10. Okay. So in such situation, like I may be using the subscript. So for example, what I can use say 40. Okay. I want the subscript to appear, so I will put sub. Okay, so here I will put in brackets because I want to display 40 to the base 10 subscript, and here I will put 10 and then I will close this sub. Okay, or if I want say some xyz to the base 2 or xyz to the base 3 and so on, so I can do that as well. So I will just run this now. 40 to the base 10. So these things cannot be directly written in a paragraph or in a text or in a heading tags, and you cannot do it. So for that purpose, you have to use this subscript and superscript. I mean, this if you want to put in a paragraph tag also, like here if you are explaining something here, this is bold. Here also you can put it, but you have to use this superscript inside that particular bold tag or italic, wherever you want to display it. So if I want this entire thing to appear in italics or bold, I can put it in this particular tags. So I want to make it B. So I'll put B, and here I will end this entire B tag. Like this, we can use the different tags, or you can say the combination of tags can be also used. So here what I'm displaying, I'm displaying x to the base 2 raised to 3, or we can say like we in the geometry also we want x1, y1, x2, y2, the coordinates. So in such situations, we can use this x2 to the raised to 3 or y1 raised to 2 and so on. So combination of these subscripts and superscripts can be also used. Like in equations also, we can use this superscripts and subscripts. Are we clear with this, everyone? Shall we go ahead? Yes. Are we getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Others? Okay. Are you finding it easy or difficult?
Yes, sir.
So you can try different alternatives and combination of tags and you can practice it. It will be fun for you basically. So I hope everyone has installed this Notepad editor or Notepad++ or this simple Notepad. And even if you do not have the laptop or computers at home, just you can go for online compilers and you can execute all the basic programs. So I will use this. Next important thing, that is what we have is the character entities. So what are basically character entities all about? Just a minute. Like when you want to display some information which is not in a regular way, or some keystrokes are not there on the keyboard, like a dollar symbol, or in the earlier days @ symbol was not there, or copyright C symbol was not there, or dollar symbol. So some of the symbols may not be there on the keyboard. So if you want to display such important things or if such important characters, then we have some special character entities. So whenever you want to display like for say example greater than, less than and so on, those things cannot be displayed directly on a web page. For that we need to use these character entities. So this HTML provides a collection of special characters that are sometimes needed in the document but cannot be typed as themselves. We cannot directly type them, but we can use these to give a proper meaning or a special meaning for such particular thing. So we will take up the example and we can understand it. So suppose if I want to put a ampersand symbol, so I cannot use ampersand symbol directly. I have to use that ampersand amp semicolon. See, again, this semicolon is not mandatory in some of the browsers, but some of the browsers will not support all these. So it's better to use this semicolon whenever you want to use it. So for example, if I want to say less than or greater than and so on, I have to use this inside a paragraph or wherever I want to display a particular symbol. So this half, if I want to display half, I have to use ampersand FRAC 12, or I may be having say degree Celsius and dollar symbol and so on. For all this, I have to use this. So this is the character I want to appear on the web page, and for that I have to use this particular entity. So there are some list of characters and entities have been given. So these are the some examples. So I want to use a space, I can use this entity name as ampersand NBSP. If I want to appear this symbol less than, I have to use this ampersand less than. For greater than and so on. So there are different examples. For ampersand, I have to use this ampersand. For double quotation marks, I have to use ampersand QUOT semicolon. So let us take the example and understand this. This is the example I have taken, illustration of character entities. So if you get greater than 70%, then you will get FCD. If you get less than 35%, then you are fail, or you will fail in the examination. So these I have put, and these will be replaced by the browser with the less than, greater than, or respective characters. So this is very helpful whenever we want to compare some information or we want to display such kind of information. We can use these character entities. So I will just run this program. You can see that If you get greater than 70%, then you will get FCD. I have not used this greater than directly in my code. What I have used instead of that, I have used ampersand greater than semicolon. So by looking at this, what the browser will do, the browser will replace this character entity with the particular character. So here I have say less than. So it will replace this ampersand LT semicolon with less than symbol. So here I have used ampersand fraction part. Okay, so this indicates that it is 1/4. So similar to that, if I want to display like half of my classmates get very good marks, what can be the changes? Can somebody think of it? Hello, are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So here I have fraction frac 14 semicolon. So this will be
Sure.
replaced with 1/4. Similar to that, if I want to make it 1/2 half, what can be the changes?
Frac
Sir,
1
1 by 2.
1/4.
Frac 1 2. So this will make it
Add 1 to
half. So here I have similar to that, I have something say 30 degrees Celsius. So for that I have used this ampersand DEG. And always remember that you have to give a space here. If you don't give a space, then it will not give the correct results. Okay, so better use this, and then you have to give a space and use it. Or for example, sometimes if you do not include this semicolon, okay, and because of that the browser may not read it what it is exactly, and it may not display the information. Some of the browsers will not support all this, so it is always better to use the semicolon. Without semicolon also it will work, but some of the browser may not give the correct results. For example, if I want to use the quotation mark, so what I have to use, I want to have a double quotation. So for that I will use this ampersand symbol, and I will put here it as quote, QUOT. Sorry. And then I will put a semicolon. So if I put this and if I run this, so you can see that there is a double quotation. If I want to have a single quotation, okay, say some for here, single quotation I have to use, then I have to use the entity as ampersand APOS, ampersand APOS. And when I run this, so it is not supporting it. Some of the browsers support without the semicolon, some of the browsers may not support it. So it is always better to use this semicolon after this. Now if I put a semicolon, it will work fine. Are we getting it, everyone? What is the use of these character entities? Are we getting it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the some of the important entities. Ampersand we have discussed. So suppose if you want to ampersand, so for that you can use this ampersand AMP. And when I run this, you can see that there's an ampersand symbol is appearing. So this is 30 ampersand DEG semicolon means degree Celsius. So it will appear like this, 30 degrees Celsius and so on. So similar to that, we have few more in the latest thing, that is single quotation, and we can have the cent, like the euro, pound, dollar. For all this, we can use these different entity, and their respective characters will be displayed. You can give the attendance. And you can concentrate for the next set of things. So after this, we have one more, a small one, that we call it as the horizontal rules. Like we have discussed the BR tag. So BR tag will be for the break the line. Similar to that, suppose say, I mean, all the entire thing that we are displaying on the web browser, okay, it is in a unruled way. Like if you compare this web page with a notebook, a plain notebook and a ruled notebook, all the information is appearing on the browser like on a white notebook, or you can say on unruled notebook, okay, or a white notebook. But if I want these all information should appear in the web page like in a ruled notebook that we have, for that we can use this horizontal rules. So for that we use a tag called as the HR tag. So the parts of a document can be separated from each other, making document easier to read by placing horizontal lines between them. So if you want to, or if your data is entirely a textual data, and if you want to make the user feel comfortable while reading that important information or the document, so for that we can use these horizontal tags. Again, it is similar to the BR tag. We do not have a opening tag and a closing tag. We have to just use this HR and / and close it. This indicates that it is opening here and it is being closed here. For that we use this HR tag. So let us take that, and I will put this HR tag here. I will just use a HR tag. I will just run this. So you can see that there is a line is appearing. Similar to that, here also I can put this in all the lines. And I can run this. Are we clear with this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So in today's
Yes,
class, you're
sir.
going to practice all this. I'm going to send all these small programs and you're going to write in your notebook and you're going to execute these. And maintain a separate